Oh God, just score, Phil. God, don't. Just you can't miss this in your bloody boots that look like you're running round in your feet. You can't miss. You can't miss this. He's bloody missed it! What a prat! What a prat! Phil Jones! It was bloody written in the stars! Phil Jones! What are you doing? Why can't Eric Bailly take it? Phil bloody Jones running around with no feet on his no bloody skin feet. Pink boots! It's the pink boots, Marcus! The bloody pink boots! I can't believe this! Oh, written in the stars or what?
Hi guys, and welcome back to Twif, or This Week in Football. I know I missed last week, but let's be honest, who really gives a shit? Before I get into the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you're an Arsenal fan, go follow me on Instagram at we.love.u.arsenal and on Twitter at Alfie Coleshaw. This week, once again, I'm talking about Manchester United and Jose Mourinho, and once again, it's about his downfall and basically just how I hate him, because let's be honest, he's a cunt. Last night, of course, they lost the derby on penalties with
Phil Jones,
the victim of that penalty missing heartbreak, and all these United fans would be like, oh, stop obsessing over us, concentrate on your own team. Well, all of those fans are the same people who are quick to, mock us for our Wenger out campaign, so they can just fuck off. So it was 1-1, United down to 10 men with about 20 minutes left, and Mourinho, of course, resorts to bringing on Marouane Fellaini. They then went 2-1 down with 5 minutes to go, and of course, Marouane Fellaini eventually saved them. This is a club that had the likes of Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Van Nistelrooy, Cantona, Bobby Charlton that were their main influential players, and now it's Marouane Fellaini. I mean, come on, United fans, how the hell can you take this? A club of this size, of this stature, should not have to resort to lumping a ball into a 6-foot giant who's got no technical ability. He's just big on such a frequent basis to get results. It's just pathetic, really. It really is. If any United fans genuinely disagree with this statement and how I think it's pathetic they have to play in this way, tell me in the comments, because I am genuinely intrigued to see sort of what you think about this. Obviously, last night was a huge embarrassment, to lose to a championship side, even though they are a very good championship side. It's embarrassing, but these results do happen, so you have to take that into perspective a bit. However, it's not just really last night. Looking at it from a bigger picture, United are really in trouble. They've started the season so poorly. If you look at the performances against the likes of Brighton, against Wolves, they've started really poorly. They're getting dominated by these teams, and it really shouldn't be happening. Teams are coming to Old Trafford without fear. They know that they can limit United's attacking threat, which is already very minimal, and they also know that they can attack them. They can play good football, better football than United. They can get at United. Their fragile defence, which is something that Mourinho has always boasted about. He's always had a very solid defence, but he doesn't even have that anymore. It's looking really fragile. The likes of Bailly, Lindelof, they're really disappointing. Jones. It's a poor defence, and that's something that Mourinho has always had, and he doesn't have that anymore. However, the problems go deeper than the performances on the pitch. If you look at the dressing room, it's clearly unsettled. Mourinho seems to constantly have beef with some of his players. You look at the ongoing drama with Paul Pogba, you look at Luke Shaw, you look at Anthony Martial, you look at Fabregas and Costa in the past. He always has some sort of conflict with one of his team members. I don't know why this hasn't been criticised as much in the media as it should be. These are quality attacking players who are being wasted under Mourinho because he doesn't play the system to suit them. And he also has something wrong with their attitude when they perform in other places. You look at Pogba, he performs for France at the World Cup, but he's not doing it at United. If you look at Alexis Sanchez, he performed at Arsenal, he performs for Chile, but he's not doing it at United because Mourinho can't get the best out of attacking players. Sanchez has been awful, absolutely awful since he's come to United. He's still being picked above, the likes of Martial, Rashford, and must be creating a really toxic atmosphere in the changing room. If players are clearly underperforming but still playing, you've got players who are eager, play well when they play, when they actually do get game time, not getting game time. It must create a really toxic atmosphere. Furthermore, there's these discontent between the board and Mourinho. There doesn't seem to be a good relationship there. So there seems to be distrust, a bit of frustration from Mourinho to the board. He couldn't get the transfer funds that he needed to buy that centre-back. He wanted Maguire, he wanted Boateng, he wanted Yerry Mina, he wanted some of these players, and he couldn't get them because because they weren't funding him, and that relationship must also create a toxic sort of atmosphere in the club as a whole. It really doesn't look great for them. To be honest, I'll go as far as saying United are in a crisis at the moment. You know, for me, they look the worst team in the top 6, undoubtedly. If you look at all this, all the problems stem from Jose Mourinho. His old-fashioned, defensive, poor tactics are meaning a lot of attacking players are not performing at the ability that and at the level that they can. A lot of them seem to have stagnated since he's joined the club. His old-fashioned man management doesn't seem to suit the players that he's got. They're not responding to it, and that is his fault really. He's got to change. He's got to adapt to the new modern times. All it's doing is leading to negativity and friction within the dressing room, and his problems with the board are obviously never going to be a good thing. They're never going to allow the club to function properly. For me, there doesn't really seem to be a way back for him, you know, for this to really work at United. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, and you see how sort of worked up I've got about it, mainly because I hate Mourinho as a person, but also I just think I can't believe that some people are still in support of Jose Mourinho. If I was a United fan, I'd be heavily pushing for Mourinho out. And you know, it could be saying I've been influenced by the Wenger out campaign, but no, I'd be really pushing for it. It's not just me saying this though, a lot of United fans have agreed.
There's a virus at this club, and it goes from the boardroom, Woodward, the Glazers, down to the manager and the players, and it's like this club is on a downward spiral.
Perform this badly.
Romelu Lukaku is f***ing shit.
There is something fundamentally wrong at this club, and it all boils from the boardroom down to the pitch, and it goes with the manager as well. They're all to blame for this shambles.
We're just not coached. We have no style of play, no rhythm in our play. Pretty much all of our team is lacking confidence, and you ask, where does that come from? Look, everyone knows, I get criticised for being heavily anti-Mourinho, but who else do you blame for this? Who else do you blame for this? Everyone wants to say, oh, the players. Blame Paul Pogba for that today. You can't. And people want to criticise Paul Pogba for saying Manchester United should be attacking. The fans said exactly the same thing in there today.
Oh, written in the stars or what? I told you I was slating them pink boots at half time. You look like a tin of salmon, you bloody idiot. Oh, for God's sake.
This guy's having an absolute meltdown. I mean, he's talking about what, the fucking shoe colour. Anyway, not a lot else happened this week that was controversial or particularly worth talking about in this Twif. Arsenal beat Everton undeservedly, and I didn't make a video about it, but here are some of my thoughts. The game against Everton has just finished. It was a bit of a strange one. We were very, very poor in that first half. We got much better after the break. You know, completely controlled the game. We could easily have been 2 or 3 down. Petr Cech making a string of saves. I think his performance is being a bit overhyped. I think they were all relatively simple saves you'd expect him to make. You know, they were decent, but it was no brilliant saves in there. But he did basically what he had to do. I still thought his distribution was poor, but yeah, brilliant goal from Lacazette and then an offside goal from Aubameyang. But it's kind of similar to Newcastle, poor in the first half, second half completely controlled the game after we got 2 quick-fire goals. Other than the fact that Everton offered a lot more than obviously Newcastle did. But yeah, good win again, 4 in a row, and we move on to Brentford in midweek. Liverpool won again, City won again, Burnley finally won. Chelsea failed to win for the first time this season in a terrible, terrible game at West Ham. And Ronaldo finally found his match. Anyway, that is going to be it for this Twif. I have no idea how long it is. It feels like it's been a bit shorter, but I only know when I edit it. It was a little bit different to the other Twifs. I've had a few negative comments on, you know, some aspects of it. So it was me, more just a rant, to be honest, from me about Mourinho, but he just makes me get worked up. Anyway, if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to click the fucking life out of that button. Why did I have to say it like that? Anyway, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.